Hey, this is Ronald Jefferson. I'm going to make a quick vlog. Let me turn this fan on. Going to make a quick vlog. I've been wanting to make this vlog for a minute. It is on what I believe the Synagogue of Satan really is. Let's get into it. There's a term been around. It's been around for a couple hundred years actually, called the Illuminati, and I ran into it back in 2010. And I remember everything I was learning. I remember I had a very good. There was this YouTuber named Kajari. He had this series called Satanism and Hip Hop, and he was a Christian. And he was just showing how all this stuff was either tied to the what they call the myths of our ancestors, or the Bible, or directly to Satanism. All this stuff, man. You know, it's like it's just a repeat of the same old things over and over again. And if you read in the book of Revelation, Israel, its future state during the reign of the Antichrist will be like Egypt and Sodom. If you read about it in the book of Revelation, you got to decipher it a little bit because it don't directly say that. I believe it says the holy city, which is, that's Jerusalem, Israel. I believe what the Bible what the people call the Illuminati. There's only one group really in the Bible that could be, and that is the Synagogue of Satan. And a lot of people use this term to slander Jews, and I didn't know that. I don't understand how you can be a believer in Christ and be an anti-Semite, but they exist. But okay. Even in the Old Testament and the New Testament, it's 95% Jews. 95%. There's some Gentiles thrown in there. But, it's mostly Jews. You got to understand Christianity as Gentiles. If you are not a Jew, and there are Jews of all colors because they have mixed with all the races after they were dispersed. I think back by Rome, I think that was 70 AD. Rome destroyed Israel, destroyed the temple and everything. They mixed with people all over the world, so there's Jews of all colors, but those we are engrafted into their thing. This is not a Gentile promise. This is Jesus only spoke to a few Gentiles during his ministry. Even though as a child he grew up in Egypt, so he had to speak to other Gentiles in Egypt. But he only spoke to a couple Gentiles during his whole ministry. He even told those Gentiles, why would I give the bread meant for the children and cast it to the dogs? He was talking about the Gentiles being dogs. And that's not disrespectful. Our ancestors were some straight heathens, dog. They were. We are way more spiritually, especially in America. Jesus Christ rules here. Or he did rule here. Now I think Satan's taking over. I think he's been taking over for a while, though, in the hearts of men. But now, even the number of the beast is coming very prominent. It's a hand sign. They call it a white supremacist hand sign in some communities, but no. That's a 666. If you know what you. I'm not gonna throw it up because those hand signs have power. I'm not gonna throw it up, but let's look up 666 hand sign. And that's the number of the beast. But yeah, I believe the Illuminati is really the Synagogue of Satan. And I believe the Illuminati is just a part of the Synagogue of Satan. And the Synagogue of Satan is many groups and many races. Even when the Synagogue of Satan was being spoken of back in Jesus' time, in the book of Revelation, or after Jesus' death in the book of Revelation, there were satanic groups of all races all over the world. Satan was in all our people's, all our ancestors' lives. Not always as a God to be worshipped, actually. All types of ways he was coming to all over the earth. You got to do your research. There's whole books written on it. I want to say one, Chariot of the Gods, but that's written. That's written to support them, to support that narrative. Just like S.O.S Ancient Aliens. That's a good series though. Just pray before you watch it. You ain't even gotta pray for it. You don't even say that. The Lord know your intention already. You ain't really gotta pray. The Lord knows if you His or not. You watch that stuff and learn that stuff, man. But the Synagogue of Satan, yeah, that is what we're up against. And if you read Ephesians 6:12, it's a spiritual thing first before it's a physical thing. It's not really a physical thing according to Ephesians 6:12. Our struggles are not against flesh and blood. I believe, we all, no matter how we look, a handicap, I explained this in another video, we all are the image of God. And so it's either sin or the kingdom of darkness is working against you. Why we mess up, I believe the image of God is a righteous creation, though, all of us. And that's all of us. And we all sin somehow, some way. And I'm not going to get into that. But, yeah, I don't want to start naming groups. Just do your Googles, though. Well, I will. I can't be scared. Like the Freemasons, those who practice witchcraft, those who practice necromancy, mediums. That's becoming popular. I don't watch TV no more. I remember when I was leaving TV, it's a lot of medium stuff on TV, dog. A lot of mediums. I'm like, whoa, just out there like that. And they're not lying, man. That stuff is real. They really have that power, man. That is a real power. The Bible talks about that power. It has come from the kingdom of darkness. It's not from Jesus Christ, man. It's from the kingdom of darkness. Let's talk about them groups, though. The Rosicrucians, the Jesuits. I don't want to say the Roman. I gotta stop saying the Catholic Church, though, because I believe there's a lot of reborn again Catholics in that church. But the Vatican, I believe once you reach up there, you're something satanic. I won't say it. That's I just made a video on how the Pope admit they sex slaving the nuns and they molesting the boys. Come on, bruh. What is up with the sin of fornication when it comes to Christians, dog? I do not understand it. It's like the leaders are always engaging in some type of fornication. This is a thing, man. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. It's all these little secret societies, basically. There's so many of them. The Eastern Star, that's a woman's one. Witches is a woman's one too. I believe a matriarchy is coming. John Todd spoke that the goal of the Illuminati or the group, he was a part of the Illuminati, he said. That could be debated though, because I don't think they'll let you. As far as he was up, man, there's no way he would have left that alive. No way. No way. No way. I mean, is God with somebody who engages willingly in human sacrifice, which he admitted to that? He actually said he didn't believe in the Freemasons until he found out that their ritual known as Warrior on the Block was a ritual of human sacrifice, actual human sacrifice. He said he didn't respect the Freemasons until he found out they engaged in human sacrifice. So, I think once you cutting people's chests open and tearing their heart out and skinning them alive and doing all types of horrible, is God really with you, dog? Maybe he was, because he grew up in it, so he was kind of messed up for his whole life. So maybe. I just think ain't no way the kingdom of darkness gonna let you just leave like that. Let's look at some of these celebrities. They don't even get a chance to leave before they die. It's like, I think, they really decide they're leaving, and Satan, we don't know the powers of these fallen spiritual beings. Speaking of the fallen principalities, the fallen powers, the fallen angels, Satan, they believe the cherub spoken about in Revelation, that say holy, holy, holy to the Lord in Revelation, them four cherub or cherubim, they believe it was 5 and Lucifer is one of them. You know what I mean? So even a cherubim, one of those, if he really was one of them, even one of them fell. We don't know what spiritual forces are out here. People only speak about demons. What is a demon? I don't believe a principality, a fallen one, any of them fallen higher beings are demons, yo. I don't believe they're demons. I believe, like a lot of, the Lord's revealing different things. And one thing we're learning about demons, we believe, they're the spirits of the Nephilim. The children, the Nephilim are the children of the fallen angels and women back in the days of Noah. That's the reason why the flood had to come. Because the Nephilim, according to the book of Noah, they consumed all the resources of the earth. And once they were gone, they started eating human beings. Even though in the book of Noah, it gets real weird. Once you get, not the book of Noah, I'm sorry, the book of Enoch. The book of Enoch gets real weird as you get further along. So I don't know if it's real or not, but I know there was a book of Enoch. I don't know if we have access to the book of Enoch that's referred to in the New Testament, though. I don't know if we have that book of Enoch. But, yeah, I just believe the Synagogue of Satan is all these secret societies. And let's talk about who I believe is a part of it. I believe the elites, man. I believe those who are elite in their field. And I don't care what your field is, though, yo. The elite. I'm talking about, though, not just on name and fame. That ain't nothing. You gotta have that wealth, dog. You gotta have that cash. You do. That's a part of. That's a part of being, an elite Satanist, dog, is having that wealth. And one thing I do believe about the wealth of these people in Hollywood, all over the world, I don't think we really know how much they're worth. I believe basically they can go anywhere on earth, and the world, everything on earth for them is free, except one thing, and that's human beings, man. But even certain places on earth, you can buy a human being, even though I don't think it's legal anywhere on earth to purchase human beings. It's all black market, but you can purchase human beings too. There's nothing on this planet that the money can't buy. So yeah, you can have fame and name, but if you ain't got the wealth to change, especially at least speaking nepotistically, your family and your loved ones, come on, bruh. What's fame in a name? What's power if you can't do anything? The true power on earth is money. So I believe, I know there's 3 people in hip hop that I know are Luciferians or Satanists or something involved in high ranking spirit worship. I ain't gonna name their names because you know who they are. I already said enough. If you a hip hop fan, you know who the 3 are that we know on some high ranking spirit worship. Probably beyond they've been doing human sacrifice. They have the amount of money they have, but then not to speak on them. What about Bill Gates, Warren Buffett? You want to speak on the black man? We got to speak on Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Steve Jobs, even though he passed away, is he in heaven or is he in hell? Is he in heaven or hell? You would think that because all these people, all 6 of these people are this Jay-Z, Dre, and Diddy. But all 6 of these people, man, they're all philanthropists too. They all give plenty. They do good things for the world. They do. But it's like, what is a righteous man's works to the Lord? I think he said the minstrel rags. So you know what I'm saying? What's a righteous man's works to the creator of the Ben Elohim, the angels of God? What is your works? What is you accumulating wealth to that, to making Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune and millions and billions of planets in the universe and stars like the sun, the asteroid belt. You know, what is your philanthropy to that? The creation of the image of God that's been around for who knows how long. They say we believe 6,000 years. You know, which I hope it's been 6,000 years. I hope we haven't been here for millions of years and we were this and this. Because you got to understand, we were horse and carriage up until the 1800s, man. The Romans and the Egyptians were on that. They had chariots thousands of years ago. Not until like the railroad and, steam power, coal power and stuff like that. The Industrial Revolution, this stuff, even the Renaissance, Industrial Revolution, the Renaissance more mentally, the Industrial Revolution, that's when the new, this like, not the new age, but this age of knowledge, I believe, started, that Daniel was talking about, when God told, or I believe Gabriel told Daniel what happened in his book. That man was going to go to and fro and gain this knowledge. I believe it started in the Industrial Revolution. And that's the 1800s, late 1800s. And you got to understand, it's only been 140 years, maybe 160 years. Now look where we at. And, and people speak on Doomsday, too. I'm sorry I left the topic, but I kind of summed it up. But let's talk. You speaking on Doomsday, I really feel like, what if we got another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years left on Earth? There's a lot of people talking about Doomsday, this and this, the end times. It's like, what if it's not? You shouldn't speak so definitely about something that God directly is not telling you. But then, if you're hearing voices, that could be the devil. That could be a multitude of things. You gotta have discernment of spirits out here, but it's a lot of doomsday talk, man. And it's been around for a long time, but I think we just need to love the earth, try to preserve the earth, try to preserve man and the animals, the creation, the trees, try to make this last, instead of, hating on it like that. You shouldn't want the end of the world. You really shouldn't want the book of Revelation. That's a horrible time. That's the time worse than Noah Day. That's the time worse than Noah Day. You shouldn't hope for that day. But I'm about to sum this video up. I believe what they call the Illuminati is the Synagogue of Satan. And it's not just Jews. It's people of all races. And they are the elites and the kings of this world, the queens of this world. The elites, man. I ain't talking the 1%, not even all the, yeah. I can't say the whole 1%. Because I don't really understand the 1%, what that really means. Are you talking about just the CEOs? Or just those really making money? Or you talking about their families too? Like the kids, the wife, I don't know if that includes them too. And I don't believe they may not be involved. Maybe the wife or the husband might not even be involved. But, yeah, the elites, man. And according to Karl Marx, and I do believe it's going to happen, I believe a French Revolution type scenario is planned for the world to bring in the New Age, maybe. But another scenario I was thinking was nuclear war, or the threat of nuclear war, making Satan and his angels intervene. But Karl Marx was he was a communist from Russia, and he used this term, the proletariat, for the poor, and the bourgeoisie for the rich. And he said in the future, the proletariat is going to realize their position and their power, their low position, but their power in numbers, and was going to destroy the bourgeoisie. And I hope that does not happen. I hope, we can just learn to love one another and start thinking like ants and everybody being good instead of just certain people having the resources and the wealth. Because it's a blessing they have that, but there shouldn't be people in Haiti eating dirt cookies and sugar cane. It shouldn't be people in India, cows everywhere, but they gotta eat rats and raccoons and possums. They're so poor. It shouldn't be people in China. It's just, people should be free all over the world. And everybody should have a house. And everybody should have an education. But it's like, people say that world's not possible. It is possible. I just think people are too selfish for it to ever happen. Like, as long as there's a king, he's going to want more than everybody else. As long as there's a council, they're going to want more than everybody else. As long as there's like a senate, they're going to want more than everybody else. There's always people who's going to want more than everybody else. I want to end the video on that. Thank you. This is Ronald Jefferson. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.